Welcome to Coffee Talk with Liquidshano 1973. And now your host, me, Shane Lakita. Good morning, folks. Can you hear it? Like every single time I hear this jazz music, it gets me moving. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's my cup of tea. And I'm grooving with it. I'm feeling it. I'm in the zone. If you couldn't tell, if we had some video right now, you'd be able to see that I was dancing and grooving and doing the white man overbite and just kind of chilling out and getting to it. So good morning, folks. Thanks again for joining me here on Coffee Talk with Liquidshano 1973. I'm your host, Shane Lakita, as I said in the beginning, and we're here to talk about some stuff. We're here to talk about life. We're here to talking about struggles, strengths, all the great stuff that we're trying to be able to pull through with and just live this journey and keep on fighting for the good cause. And all of us are in the boat together, and we're all just kind of have our paddles out to the side, and we're rowing to whatever finish line that it is that you're trying to be able to row towards. We're all in it together, and I thank each and every one of you for being a part of this journey with me. It's so important that I have a good group of people that I can lean in on, and so each and every one of you are those folks for me, and I appreciate every one of you. Just to give a little bit of a celebration moment, we did have another Patreon pledge person that came in and pledged towards the Coffee Talk podcast itself in Sue Martin. So Sue, on the 4th of March, you pledged to become a patron of Coffee Talk with Liquidshano 1973. So again, it's so appreciated. Everything you guys are able to do for this podcast to be able to upgrade in equipment, upgrade in content, upgrade in quality, me to be able to rent spaces, to be able to get some stuff that I can actually go out and do some interviews outside of just my little desk here with my microphone and everything else. It's much appreciated. And if you are interested in becoming a patron of Coffee Talk with Liquidshano 1973, you can go to www.patreon.com/liquidcoffeetalk, and you should be able to log right in there if you want to be able to do it and see what some of the other names of some of the other patrons that are on there. And they're going to be getting some swag in the mail here in about a month or two, and getting some Coffee Talk mugs and some T-shirts and some other great stuff that we've got going on. And I'm going to be sending out some patron material and some exclusive material that you can actually join up to be able to become a part of. So thank you again so much, and let's go ahead and get this thing started. Okay, folks, so this morning I put on the different social media platforms where I was sitting there and I was talking about being able to go for your goals and going for your dreams and your aspirations and going for the things that you've always wanted to be able to achieve in life and whatever it is that you're trying to be able to fight towards. I posted it on Instagram, Facebook, and some of the other platforms, and the image that I got from the internet, I was scouring through. I always try to be able to dig in to see if I need some inspiration or find some inspiration to be able to write about or blog about on my different platforms, on my WordPress site or whatever else. And I came across a image of something that somebody had posted, and the image basically is just a black and white image. And it says on there, when people ask me, what do you do? I say, whatever it takes. Now, this is it's an oldie but goodie. I've seen this in the past, and I've seen different versions of it. But how important and relevant is it in our journeys that this is so important? I mean, it really does strike a chord with me, because as I'm thinking to myself, and we're going through this whole entire journey, and we're traveling this windy road of trying to be able to do whatever it is that you're trying to get to. And as we're navigating through, there's so many different pitfalls and so many different things that we can come into play. And one of the biggest pitfalls that comes into play is ourselves. So how many times have you gotten up to go to the gym and you say to yourself, I'm not going to go to the gym today because it's too cold outside, or the gym is probably going to be really crowded, or people are going to be staring, or I don't have clean clothes, or whatever it is. And we make whatever excuses that comes into our brain, and we just spit it out there, and we find every reason not to go to the gym or to whatever workout facility that we're trying to be able to go to, or just getting on the treadmill at home or whatever else. We find every excuse not to do it, every one of them. And so this is one of our biggest obstacles and hurdles. It isn't necessarily just that life gets in the way or time constraints or you have to find time to be able to do all these different things or whatever. It's our own selves that get in the way of us. And so instead of just pulling the trigger and going forward with it and just doing what's necessary for us to do, we find every excuse in the book for us to not do those things and for us not to be able to achieve the things that we want to be able to achieve. I mean, I know all of us have been there. So not only just with workout plans. So let's just say, for instance, you're at work and you've been working in the same company for the last, 10 years, and you wanted to go for a different position. You wanted to be promoted. You wanted to be able to get into a position that's going to pay you more money or for you to have more responsibility or whatever. And you're setting yourself up for that. You want to put yourself out there, but then the internal nerves start to kick in and you start to say to yourself, I'm not going to apply for that because I don't want to be turned down. Or I'm not going to apply for that because I don't want to put myself out there, feel vulnerable, and be squashed. Or I'm not going to put myself out there because it's so competitive and there's so many other people that are trying to look for that position. I'm not good enough, so I'm not going to do it. Now, there's two common themes in these two scenarios I just painted. One of them is going to the gym or going to work out, and you talk yourself out of it because you're making all these excuses. The other one is to be professional and for you to be able to grow in the business that you're a part of or your job that you're doing or whatever it is, and you're too afraid to do so. So the internal mechanisms that come into play, the human nature element of it, the one that makes you scared to do things that are different, steps in there and causes you not to go and step out of your comfort zone and do the things that are necessary for you to be successful and be amazing. Two scenarios, both of them hindered by internal strife and internal noise that goes on in our heads. Now, all of you have been there. We've all been there down this road of talking ourselves out of things that we should be achieving. Now, the image that I posted says, when people ask me, what do? I say, whatever it takes. That's not in that mentality of whatever it takes. Because what we do is we're making excuses for ourselves and we are talking ourselves out of going and doing great things. We're not doing whatever it takes to be able to achieve the goals and aspirations that we're trying to achieve. We all know that we are only on this earth for a short amount of time. And I know I've said this in the last few podcasts. We've only got a short amount of time on the earth to be able to do the things that are necessary for us to be great and achieve great things and achieve monumental legacy kind of things. And whatever your legacy needs to be, we've talked about in the past, needs to be what you want it to be. For instance, if you're living your life and you're going through just a regular humdrum of life and you're just going through the motions, you're doing the things that you consider to be just life things. So you go to work, you come home, you eat, you do all the things that you want to do, for the most part, just go through everyday life of just punching your ticket and moving on. Then whenever people want to talk about the legacy of what you want to leave behind or where you want to go, people will remember that part of it. And so if anything does happen in your life, a lot of times we're waiting for others. How many people always say, I can't win the lottery unless I play the lottery? So we're waiting for something big to happen. We're waiting for something monumental to happen. If you're looking for true love, what happens a lot of times when we sit back and we just be a fly on the wall, a lot of times we can't find that person that might be our perfect match for where we're at. Or if we're trying to be able to achieve financial freedom and you're not willing to put the work in and be able to make the payments when you need to and cut the cards when you need to or do the things that you need to become financially stable and financially secure moving forward, well, guess what? The person that has to do the work is you. So if you want to find a partner in crime of where you want to go to and do the things that you want to do, you got to go get it. You can't just wait for things to come to you. You can't just wait for financial freedom to happen. It's not just going to happen. And then you can't just put Band-Aids on things to be able to fix a situation and then knowing that the root cause of whatever is causing you to become unfinancially stable or whatever it is will just fix a situation because you've got a little money you can throw at it and just be a part of it. No, you've got to work at it. You got to go get it. You've got to step out of your comfort zone and do whatever it takes to get there. This comes in all different aspects of life. I've already mentioned a few. So if it's one is in love and happiness and you want to be able to find that other person, if you sit on the couch, you watch TV and you don't step out of your comfort zone to go get that, you're never going to find that person. So if you don't go to places like churches, or you don't go to places like social gatherings, or you don't go out to be able to try to find it, you're never going to find it. It's never going to be there. It's not just going to walk in your door, your Prince Charming or your Cinderella, to walk into the door and just go, hey, guess what? I just saw your name on the front of your mailbox, so I'm stepping in your door and saying hello. That would be kind of creepy. So if you are looking for those types of things, these life moments that we're trying to accomplish and achieve and be a part of, if you want them, you have to go get them. It's a pretty simple equation. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're going to go out and get what you want and go out there and fight for it, yeah, you may fall. Yes, you may skin your knee. Yes, you may not be as successful as you want to be at that moment in time. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, when you skin your knee, you learn from it, you get up, you move on, and it makes those types of situations seem that much sweeter when you can achieve great things. If you achieve the things that you're trying to be able to fight for, and you achieve the things that you're trying to be able to push forward, and you go out and you get those things, how amazing is it that you can get into a space where I earned that? I went and did whatever it took to be able to get that. That's mine. You can put that on your little repertoire. You can put that on your little notches under your belts to be able to say, I earned everything that I've gotten in my life, and I'm keep pushing forward because I'm going to go do whatever it takes. Now, it's a hard mentality to get in the place of, right? So I've had this conversation with people, and some people don't like to be that all or nothing mentality, where do whatever it takes and work extremely hard every single day and just keep digging in and never giving yourself a little bit of a break or stepping back. Now, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if you're going to set a goal for something, don't just sit back and let the goal happen. Don't sit back and hope that goal is going to come your way and hope that you're going to have something handed to you on a platter. Now, I've talked about in the past here, today's generation of youth that come into the workplace and those kind of things. I work in business and I work with a lot of retailers, and the retailers that we work with, the millennials and different folks that come into play into our stores, there's a different mentality with things. There's a different way of thinking. So I look at my son. My son is 13 years old, and everything that he wants is at the click of a finger, right? If he pushes his little phone or his little tablet and he presses it, it comes up whatever he needs. If he needs research done for a paper, he presses Google and he enters the search button, and boom, it's right there. There's no more Encyclopedia Britannica. There's no digging into some papers. There's no more going to the library to find out some resources. There's no more any of that, because it's at the click of a finger, a click of a button that he can just press and it goes. So it's instant gratification, and he gets the things that he wants very quickly. Just like the other day, we were having this conversation. He and I were talking about him wanting to build computers. And it's great. He loves he's very passionate about it. He wants to maybe take this route or this avenue of where he's at, because he's a gamer and he wants to build a computer built on gaming, and he wants to really kind of invest in that piece of it. So one of the things that it takes to be able to build a computer, as we all know, is money. So he's 13 years old. So I told him, I said, if you can gain enough money through different avenues of what you're trying to do, if you want to go out and shovel yards, you want to go out and try to work around the neighborhood, maybe when the summertime comes around, you can mow a couple lawns, you can do whatever. If you build up the money to be able to get there and you work for whatever it is that you need to work for, you can go and build up that amount of money for you to buy that computer or that chassis or that power supply or that fan or whatever it is that he goes into the computer world. And so this concept for him was interesting, because he's always just been given whatever he wants. He just wants the click of a button, and it's quick gratification, and he just does it as fast as possible. He snaps the finger like that, and boom, there it is. So in life, this is the way it happens for the generations that we have today, where a lot of us don't really know, or I shouldn't say a lot of us, but a lot of them don't really know the amount that you have to put into work to getting to things. So let's just say, for instance, that bleeds over into society of weight loss, and you're overweight and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I want to lose 100 pounds. How easy would it be, or how nice would it be that we could just snap our finger and be able to lose that 100 pounds without really having to do everything that it took to be able to get there? It'd be amazing. But of course, it doesn't work that way. And you have to do whatever it takes to get there. So you've got to work. You got to grind. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the effort. It's not instant. It's not a magic pill. It's nothing like that. And more often than not, if you do take a magic pill or you do something that loses weight so quickly, you all know, we've all been down the road, you put that weight back on tenfold. Once you go back to regular eating or eating whatever it is that you deprived yourself of before, then all of a sudden you are now twice the weight. So these are the things that I'm talking about. If you have a goal set out for something, if you have a goal or a dream or an aspiration of something, whether it's weight loss, whether it's financial freedom, whether it's growing in your company, whether it's getting promoted, whether it's love, whether it's happiness, whatever it's peace and harmony, whatever it is, you got to do whatever it takes to get there. And you got to have a plan to know exactly what it's going to take to get there. It's almost like a long-term plan. It's not an instant today plan. It's a long-term plan of going, what's it going to take for me to get to the things that I want to get to? What's it going to take to me become a millionaire? What's it going to take for me to have all of my credit debt washed? And if it's going to take these certain types of actions, then when am I going to get off my butt and go do it? When am I going to push forward and actually pull the trigger for me to go and get the things that I deserve? Because every single one of you guys and gals that are on this podcast right now that are listening to me, you should know that you deserve better. You deserve great. You deserve something more than what you have now. And if it's something that you have a dream of that you just never think to yourself, you're always saying, I'd love to be able to achieve this or I'd love to be able to achieve that. And you think about these kind of things and what you want to accomplish one day. And then you think to yourself, I can never do that. Or you get the negative thoughts going in, or you make the excuses, or whatever it is. Stop what you're doing and think to yourself, how do I change my mindset? How do I actually start to go for my dreams and aspirations? How do I take the time to invest in me rather than everybody else so that I can achieve great things that I've always been meant to achieve? A lot of moms and dads that are out there that have children, that have families of 3, 4, and 5 kids. What happens is during those formidable years that the kids are impressionable and you want to be a good parent and you want to do all those things, what happens 9 times out of 10? Those parents forget who they are and they let their lives just pass them by. And the next thing you know, when they're in their 50s, 60s, they're thinking to themselves, man, I raised a family, but I forgot all about me. And maybe the weight went up, or maybe I didn't achieve the scholastic goals that I wanted to achieve, or the financial goals that I wanted to achieve, or move up in the company that I wanted to, or start my own business, or whatever it is. Then they have to go through the panic mode of, let me try to do this now at the end of my life or in the later years of my life, and I need to try to be able to accomplish these things. Instead of, while they're raising their kids and while they're raising their families, to continue to elevate themselves and continue to invest in them because they deserve it. You deserve it. And I deserve it. We all do. If you're in a space where you have a dream and something you're trying to accomplish in life, and you have it out there, and you've always talked about it, whether it's radio broadcasting, or maybe you wanted to be a gymnast, or maybe you wanted to open your own gym, or maybe you wanted to be a business owner, whatever it is, you've always had these things in the back of your head that you've wanted to accomplish, but you just don't go and do it because of whatever reasons. And those reasons are so plentiful, and they could fill a whole shoebox filled with all kinds of excuses, all kinds of I can't do it because of, all kinds of whatever reasons. The box is filled with those things. Instead, we should start to pull those things out and start to negate those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. If it's a financial aspect of it, okay, then what do I have to do? And what's my plan to get to the point where I can be financially stable to then move forward with opening my own business? Or what's my plan and what do I have to have in the bank to be able to open a successful home-based business or whatever? You can see where I'm going with this. Instead of talking about stuff, instead of putting it on the dream board, and instead of thinking that I can achieve great things one day, and the next thing you know, it's too late because life has passed you by, or circumstances happen where you're at a place now where you can't accomplish those things. Do it now. Go for your dreams and your aspirations now. Go for your goals now. Just like that image said, do whatever it takes. Go do the things that are necessary for you to be successful. one foot in front of the other and actually pull the trigger on the things that you're trying to accomplish instead of just surface level, just menial little goals and tasks that you're trying to be able to accomplish. Start to dig in on the big things that you want to accomplish. And then maybe those little things that you're trying to accomplish can lead towards the big things. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense to you, but it makes a ton of sense to me. Because if you're not pushing forward and getting uncomfortable and getting in that Kaluji kind of weird place that you want to be able to get into so that you're learning, you're growing, you're pushing forward outside of your comfort zone to achieve great things that you deserve to achieve, then you're never going to really accomplish all the things that you wanted to in life. And your legacy won't be where you really want it to be. Your kids, your family, your friends, all the things you're trying to accomplish. And mind you, I always say, don't try to live your life for those other people. Live your life for you, and then whatever you do, they will see. But what I'm saying is that your legacy will one day be, this person was somebody that went and achieved everything that they set their mind to. And this person was going to try to fight like hell to get to all the things that they wanted to accomplish, not only for their own personal goals, but their family goals and their professional goals and their life goals. They were an inspiration to me because I saw somebody that fought through hardships, fought through hard times, went through all the things that they went through, and they came out on top and they accomplished amazing things in the long run because they didn't give up on themselves and they continued to do whatever it takes. You got to get there. It's hard. It's not easy. Not one bit. I know I have to tell myself, I have to convince myself some days that are better than others that I'm good enough and I'm smart enough and doggone it, people like me and I can accomplish all the things that I set my mind to, right? I have to tell myself that on certain days because there are certain days that are better than others and certain days that are good, certain days that are bad. And I look at all those days as just stepping stones towards getting to where I want to get to in life. If you're not happy with where you're at, change it. If you're not happy with the direction and path that your life is going, change it. If you're not happy or you're just a ho-hum happy, you're just okay with things, you're not really achieving a lot of the things that you set your mind to or that you wanted to accomplish and to accommodate or to complement what life you already live, change it. Do the things that are necessary for you to be successful and be somebody that's proud of their accomplishments and proud of the things that they're accomplishing and proud of the fact that they're accomplishing the things that they set out a long time ago for you to be successful and you to be somebody that's in tune with all of the things and the goals and aspirations that you're trying to be able to accomplish. If that makes sense, I hope that it does, because it makes sense to me right now. I'm speaking clearly to myself through you because I know that there's things that I want to accomplish that I haven't really put my foot forward to, and I need to do that today. I need to start today. Start going for your big goals. Start going for your aspirations. Put yourself out there. Get uncomfortable. You're worth it. We're worth it. Let's all do it together, and let's go accomplish great things today. Talk later. Thank you so much for listening to Coffee Talk with Liquidshano 1973 podcast. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and other social media platforms at Liquidshano 1973. And if you could do us a favor, pop on over to iTunes and show us some love and leave some feedback there for us. Talk later.